Hey, horror fans! Thanks for joining me for this review of Antrum, the deadliest film ever made. Well, we'll see about that in a minute. Um, don't mind them as they do their little spell back there or worship Satan or whatever is going on back there. But while they get into that, let's get into this review. Cast and crew information down below as usual, and I will start by reading the plot from IMDb, and then we'll get this rolling here. A young boy and girl enter the forest to dig a hole to hell. Said to be a cursed film from the late 1970s, Antrum examines the horrifying power of storytelling. Alright, so I like that first sentence, digging a hole to hell. Probably not going to get there. um, but that sounds interesting alone. But let's see. So this film is doing really well on Amazon, and I don't think I would have watched it except for my podcast partners at Where the Scary Things Are. Apparently, a couple of them saw it and they interviewed the director and so forth. I wasn't on that episode, but they encouraged me to watch the film, and they wanted my opinion of it and see what I thought. So, yeah, they got me into this one. So yeah, it's doing well on Amazon, so I could see why they stumbled upon it. And it makes the claim the deadliest film ever made. So what they do here is a little bit interesting thing, and I'll give them credit for the way they set this up. It's like basically the way, and I'll hopefully not confuse anybody if you haven't seen this, and I don't believe there's any spoilers here, but they set this up as being like almost a film within a film, or a documentary of the film Antrum. So the beginning of this film talks about when Antrum was made and how it was seen to be a cursed film, and talks about a few of the bad things that happened when it was shown. And then, of course, along with that, not having a copy of it, and then finally a copy appeared, and then that's what then the audience is watching, what you guys then end up watching, and then the movie ends, and then there's a small conclusion to the documentary as the overall film ends. So basically, it's not like the typical movie where you turn it on, you hit play, and a movie just starts or whatever. This is kind of setting up that Antrum is a film within the film, or a film within a documentary. So that's kind of where they play on the deadliest film ever made, because the documentary presents it in that way. So it's not like you're watching a film that's like, say, anything like Nightmare on Elm Street, and then saying Nightmare on Elm Street, the deadliest film ever made, and then you're watching. No, this is set almost like a documentary style. So I give them credit for the way they set this up. Obviously, when you make that claim and people are scrolling through, like on Amazon, you're like, oh damn, I gotta see that, or what's that all about, or I gotta see that, I bet that's BS. There's no way that this is the deadliest film ever made. And yeah, there is no way that this is the deadliest film ever made. I get what they're doing here. Great marketing job, great way to get everybody to turn on your film and so forth, but not the deadliest film ever made. So giving them credit for that. I guess the main film within this film again is about this young boy and girl who go out in the woods and start messing with witchcraft or conjuring demons, or whatever you want to call it. It is shot a little bit older in an older style. Again, it's shot, I believe, to make. I think it's supposed to be made in the 1970s. I didn't do any research. I did stumble upon somebody who said that you know, even though that it's shot like it's supposed to be older, it's really not. Um, and I assume not. I don't know that for a fact. I don't know. I probably should have went back and listened again to the podcast. I they did that a little while back, so I don't remember the details. Um, but anyway, so the film is shot in old style, and you have a boy and a girl. The girl's a little older, and she's kind of leading him in along the way, teaching him, what they're supposed to be doing. They dig a hole, they put four corners, they have a book, all the typical stuff that you might see conjuring up demon or whatever the hell they're trying to do. Um, I don't know. It's there is maybe a creepy part here or there, but I don't think anything over the top. Um, the boy is a little awkward. In a way, he kind of pissed me off. And in real life, I don't wish any danger on kids, but for me, this kid, I the longer this went on, the more I was like, this kid is annoying me. If something deadly is going to happen, it needs to happen to him because I've had just about enough of him. And the girl wasn't far away. They really did nothing for me. I was just like, when is the deadly part happening? And hopefully it happens to them because I've had enough of them. It was just, I don't know, it got annoying to me. I don't know. But again, credit to them for kind of throwing it back old school there, and they did a good job of, if they really did shoot it now and try to make it look back like it was back then, they really did a good job as far as film quality and so forth. The boy, he has, I guess, when there's creepy parts, there might be one or two, when it's at night, I think he hears something. There's a part where he goes out and you're not really sure whether it's really happening or not, but there's a guy on a boat and there's a woman in the boat, and she's looking at him, and it kind of freaks the boy out. To me, the real interesting part of the movie, and the part where I was intrigued and I wanted more of, and then they shortcut you on, is while they're doing their little thing there, there is something bad happening in these woods. There's two guys, one who something seriously wrong with him mentally, but another guy who's, I guess, in charge, and it looks like they're capturing and maybe cooking people, or I don't know if that's their sacrifice or they're eating them, or what's going on, because again, they didn't really dive too much into that. It's there, and then so obviously the boy and the girl are gonna stumble upon that. But when that happens, it's not like a long drawn out thing. The movie sticks a lot to what the boy and the girl are doing, and their Satan worship, blah blah blah, and not really into what these two idiots are doing out here in the woods. And but it's those two idiots that kind of caught my attention. I wanted to know more about what they were doing and less about what these two kids are doing. But unfortunately, it's not that way. The movie then does end a little bit weird. Like I said, they do cross paths. I don't want to give away everything that happens. Certain things happen, and then it gets kind of weird. It has a weird ending where, I don't want to give. I'm thinking about whether I want to give away something or not. I don't think I want to give that away. I think that you'll figure it out as you watch. What is happening here between the girl and the boy. They make it fairly obvious. I mean, you may pick it up before, but they make something fairly obvious at a certain point. So if you weren't sure, and then you'll know for sure what is happening here between the two. Uh, but it ends very weirdly and opposite of that, I would say. Um, Especially from the standpoint of the boy. Um, I guess that's where they try to bring in the whole, this extra movie is this movie's extra cursed or whatever, blah blah blah. One thing they also do, which was pointed out at the end of the movie, is if you watch it, and like I said, it is old style, so you think it's maybe it is a little grainy or whatever. Every once in a while, there's like these flashes, maybe a flash of a symbol or something like that, or it seems like the video's like being mixed or something like that. They point that out at the end of the film. So if you're wondering what the hell's going on there, they explain that at the end. So I thought that was a interesting wrinkle there, and it adds on top of the whole Deadliest film, and this is a documentary and why they're showing the film. So it was a good addition to what they were trying to say about the film. But anyway, I guess the main point here is I like what they did. I like the idea of the film. Like the idea of the documentary setting up a film that is supposedly cursed. Obviously, the marketing is genius because it's done so well on Amazon because of the title. So you can't blame them on that. The actual film, Antrum, between the boy and the girl, in between is I guess less than fabulous. Like I said, the quicker the boy and the girl would have died, it would have been better for me because they were really pissing me off. And I was more interested in what was going on in the woods, but what was going on between the two guys is probably more typical horror, so I guess, not as much imagination there. Maybe in the way they did it was a little unique, but I definitely want to know more about that than these two young ones here. So with that, I was looking at on IMDb, and I guess it's got, for a movie that's been so well watched on Amazon, it doesn't really have a high rating. It has, I think, a 4 point something here, 4.8. So, yeah, I guess everybody's getting suckered into it, but not really liking it. I'm going to give it 2 pools of blood. A lot based for creativity, and I like, what they did, and obviously you have to give them credit for the marketing and so forth. The film in between, if that was standalone by itself, without the whole setup with the documentary, I would probably give it less because, like I said, yeah, those kids were pissing me off. So yeah, I think I'll go with 2 pools of blood for this one, and this might teach everybody not to necessarily get suckered in by a phrase like the deadliest film ever made. I think there's probably been a couple other, I can't think of any at the moment, but a couple other films that had extended titles like that to kind of sucker you in and get you to watch. But that I guess will be a lesson. So this is definitely not the deadliest review ever made, but I thank you for joining me, and hopefully they'll finish their spell soon. And in the meantime, you can catch more reviews at horrorgoreReviews.blogspot.com, and subscribe for more video reviews and social media information down below. And feel free to comment on this movie, agree, disagree, whatever. Feel free to leave a comment there. I would definitely always interested in what you guys think about the movie as well, or catch me on social media and let me know there as well. Wherever you'd like to comment. And I'm going to get out of here, and I will catch you on the next review, horror fans.